Hi guys, so we're here with the next lick of the solo. This is where it starts getting even faster, and this is sort of a hybrid style lick. Sounds like this. Which runs into a legato run up. So I'll play that one more time. And what we're doing here is we're just running down some of the notes from the E Dorian scale, all in sort of shape 1 with that major sixth in there. So I'm using hybrid picking because what I'm doing is I'm crossing strings quite a lot here, and if I use hybrid picking, it just makes it way easier to get from one string to the other. If I tried to pick all this, I wouldn't be able to play it at the same sort of speed. So let's look at the frets that we're using. First fret is the 14th on the E string, hammer on to the 15th, pull off to the 14th again, and then down to the 15th of the B, down to the 14th of the G, and then we're going to slide down to the 12th on the G, and then I'm going to use my middle finger to pick the 15th on the D string, on the B string, sorry. And then I'm going to pick again on the 12th fret of the G string, and then I'm going to slide that down to the 11th fret. So altogether we've got one more time, nice and slow. And then after that, I'm set up quite nicely to play the 12th fret on the D string with my middle finger. And straight after that, I'm going to use hybrid picking again, back up to the G string. I'm going to play the 14th fret there, and then pick again the 12th fret on the D string. And then my last note of that little lick is this is actually the Dorian note. This is the major sixth. It's the 11th fret on the D string. So altogether we have got time. So that's using hybrid picking. That's one of the techniques we went through in the Steve's trick bag section. So have a look back at that if you're unsure, and spend lots of time just practicing it. Make sure, again, it's a common theme in this one, make sure everything's really clean sounding, you're not getting a lot of string noise, and that the volume of your picked notes and your plucked notes is the same. When I was practicing for this lick, I sort of discovered that it's easier to sort of start at a really low volume level and sort of build everything up if it needs to. Don't start at sort of picking hard, because then everything else is going to be hard to bring up the volume. Start soft, and it'll all come a lot more easily. And then after that, we're into this legato chromatic run up, back into sort of shape 4 E minor pentatonic, but we're just adding in some chromatic notes as well. So we're going to start on the 7th fret of the A string, and we're only going to be picking the first note of each string. So hammer on to the 10th fret of the A, and then up onto the D string. We're going to play 7, 8, 9. And then up onto the G string, we're actually going to play 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll play that again. All hammer-ons. So far we've got so that's a chromatic note there. That sounds a bit out, but when we play it at speed, it's just going to help us get from one string to the next. And our last string of this is up onto the B string. We're going to be playing on the 8th fret, 9th, 10th, and then bend up a tone of that 10th for that note. So altogether we've got this. little bit faster, it goes. And again with that bend, just make sure you are getting it to pitch, because all the rest of it's quite fast, but then that bend, the whole thing slows down, so that's what the listener's going to be able to pick up on. If that note's not quite right, they'll probably notice. So altogether, it sounds like this. So that's probably one of the hardest licks in this. It's definitely worth taking your time with that. Play it really softly, try and be as relaxed as you possibly can when you're playing it. Obviously play it slowly to begin with, and then just gradually increase the tempo. Cool, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.